From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, and it is time for the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. It is Friday, and it's a kind of a muggy Friday here in LA, but it's okay. We kind of need it here. We've had a lot of sunshine over the last year or so, so pretty much we haven't seen that much rain. So I don't know if it'll be raining today, but it is cloudy though. So pretty much we'll try to brighten up your day a little bit. And I know it's cold back east as well too. So pretty much you guys are feeling it as well too. So let's go ahead and jump into it. UFC 261 this weekend is being headlined by Usman and Masividal. 2. And this one right here, I hate to tell you guys this, but this is one of the most unnecessary rematches I've ever seen, period. Because pretty much I know that they want to put up the excuse that Masividal was, had to lose a lot of weight fairly quickly to take on this fight because it was on like 2-3 weeks notice. And, he had a good story about, dropping the 17 pounds quickly and then the last 3 not coming off. And, everybody, well, he looked so dead when he came in and, blah, 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 blah. So, well, pretty much he was chasing money the first time around, I guess. But the second time around, though, I think that Usman is going to be even stronger in this fight because he already knows what dude is coming with. He's going to want to strike and things of that nature. But you see this man, Usman, man, this guy is very focused. And, I had the pleasure to actually sit down with him as well, too, last year at the Super Bowl. And he's a very humble guy as well, too. Everything that happens for him is very much deserved. And I think that what happens here is that you're going to get yourself a one-sided fight once again because Usman is just so much more disciplined, in my opinion. I think Masividal is a really brilliant fighter. He's a great fighter, but he's more of a street fighter. I think that Usman is more of a, how you would say, a guy that's in the tribe, and he can go out there and just really go ahead and, fight for the tribe in a sense, in my opinion. And that guy he's a professional, and that's why he's a bit better to me in this position. And I think that he has a much brighter future in the UFC at this point right now than Masividal, who's more of a I don't want to put him down or anything, but it's more like a circus act. A guy knocks somebody out. He has these highlight reel knockouts on the YouTube and everything, and it's just like Kimbo Slice in a sense, but he's a bit better than Kimbo Slice because Kimbo Slice was a natural just brawler fighter. He'll just fight you with the hands, but Masividal can do it all, and I know that he has a big backing because simply that he's a very intriguing guy, a very intriguing fighter. And we all know he decimated the same guy that was decimated by Jake Paul last weekend as well, too. So he'll always live in a lot of lore as well, too, for backing up his talk and, backing up the situation. But all in all, I think Masividal is a little bit out of sorts here with a guy like Usman. And I think Usman will go ahead and get himself a good win here. So let's go ahead and move on and talk about the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks are sitting here right now, winners of 8 in a row. I messed up. They're actually 8 in a row, not 7 in a row. But Julius Randle is the story of New York City right now. The Nets have all the players on their squad, but at the end of the day, though, everybody seems to be loving the Knicks in New York again. But you guys have to understand, the Knicks are just like the Lakers. They run the city. It doesn't matter how bad they're going to be. They're going to still run the city. And even when they're bad, they're still good theater. But right now, though, Chicago, they're doing exactly what we all want them to do, and that's win. We need the New York Knicks as a successful franchise in this league. They can't be a bottom dweller any longer. We really do need them to get back to the basics of the NBA theater, in a sense. And when you guys ask, what's the NBA theater? That means where you get to places like Madison Square Garden in June and July, where it's an epic moment, and you got great things going on in that arena. Staples Center, the old United Center. I don't know what they call it now, but I know it is the United Center in Chicago. And and even Miami has stepped into that place where it's great theater. And now we have Barclays as well too with Brooklyn. So it's you guys have to understand where I'm coming from with that. And then even Dallas's arena as well too. So it's just great games have been played, playoff games in those arenas. And I just feel like you have to have these teams in the playoffs year in and year out for us to really enjoy what we're watching. You know what I mean? And really, we need a crowd, because I'm saying right now, I'm missing the crowd a lot now in the NBA, because there's so many good games that these guys been having, and they need a crowd there to just really give standing ovations and make it even more hype. We got a lot of players in the NBA that are getting overlooked, that are having great seasons, but they don't have a crowd that's there to appreciate it too much. But the Knicks are playing great basketball right now. It would be awesome to see the Knicks and the Nets lock it up in the first round. And I'll tell you right now, they could possibly go up in there and pull off a maybe a 7-game series and maybe possibly go ahead and get a win there. I don't know. They got the type of coach that can get them to the next phase. And Tim Thibodeau is building this team exactly like he built the Chicago Bulls early on as well too. Ride the back of your star player, and then everybody else get down and play some defense. And that's what you truly appreciate about watching the New York Knicks, is that they are dedicated to playing really good defense. So pretty much there it is with the Knicks, winners of 8 in a row, and they just keep it moving, and maybe they could get to the top 5 in the playoff race, so they don't have to worry about that play-in. And I can't wait till we get that part as well too, because that's going to be some big money on the table. So we're talking about the actually were pretty good. They fought, and then they wound up not winning the game. But I don't think the Lakers here, when they walk into game 60 tomorrow night, that they're going to be too worried about seeding. I keep going, and I see Laker fans getting sad on a daily basis, like, we got to get Bron back, we got to do this, we got to do that. No, we got to just keep doing what we're doing. Keep playing good defense and keep building confidence with the supporting cast, because they're going to be needed to have these same gigantic efforts that they've been having lately in the playoffs with Bron and AD as well too. I think that Andre Drummond was exceptional last night, in a sense that he knew that now he has that post as another big he can go ahead and pass the ball to as well too. And pretty much when it comes down to it, he knows that his job is to be the best rebounder on the team, and that's going to help AD not be taxed so much as well too. He was falling down a little bit last night, but I think that was on conditioning and things like that. But we're going to have to kind of clean that up though a little bit. AD, you be falling way too much, bro, for somebody that's supposed to be very valuable for us. And every time I keep looking at the contract and I keep looking at his talent, I keep saying this is the same deal that we were in with Shaq, because Shaq was ultimate, awesome. But, Shaq used to only play about 40, 50 games a season. Let's be honest. If you're a real Laker fan, you know this. Not a parade-watching Laker fan. You know what I mean, too. You guys that just show up when the Lakers are winning. Yeah, you know who I'm talking to, because it's a lot of y'all. You know what I mean? And the LeBroniacs as well, too, that have joined along as well. Don't say we. Just say you and LeBron, okay? So pretty much the Lakers, to me, are still in a good place. I think that they're going to actually beat Dallas tomorrow night as well, too, because they could have beat Dallas last night, but they just kind of Dallas just kept having good runs last night. So it is what it is. But Dennis Schroeder, once again, is playing lights out, playing playing great basketball. And honestly, right now, what point guard can actually hold Dennis Schroeder when he gets in space and actually can rock your world? Seriously, the guy has been playing, is driving to the bucket so well, he made Kyrie kick himself out of a game. So, hey, it is what it is at the end of the day. If you're not confident in this Laker team when they get into the playoffs, you was never with the Lakers to begin with anyway. So pretty much they just keep the flow going. The Lakers are in the right spot right now. They will much rather match up with this Denver team that's going to be struggling by the time they get to the playoffs, and then this Utah team that's going to be so burnt out from winning that, once they see the Lakers, it's going to be Rap City. And so pretty much then you get the Clippers and the Suns to kind of beat each other up, and then what do you get? Once again, the Lakers look like they'll be walking into the finals playing whoever's going to represent the East. But that's too early to call. We got to go ahead and take it one game at a time. But right now, don't panic. Don't even look at the red button. All right. We move forward. Let's go ahead and get into the player of the night last night. The player of the night was very good. It was Kimbo Walker, one of my favorites. And Kimbo Walker absolutely sliced up the Suns last night, had his way with Chris Paul, and led his team to a nice victory last night. And you have to understand the Celtics are one of the hotter teams in the NBA right now as well, too. So that was a big, big win for them last night, going against one of the more against another team that's very hot in the NBA as well, too. So pretty much with this, I think that the Celtics are onto something, and they'll be able to build just a little bit more here. And when I look at the standings with the Celtics as well, too, now, I think that the Celtics have actually worked themselves back into position to where, that they're right there in the top 4 and 5 seeds and things of that nature. And, that's exactly where you want to see Boston at. Boston's actually right behind Atlanta. They're in a deadlock right now, them in Atlanta. But thing is, though, they'll be fine. I think that, pretty much they'll catch New York, who is the 4 seed right now as well, too. So I think Boston still is good for that 4 seed, and that's something that the number 1 seeded Philadelphia 76ers don't want to see at the end of the day. But they might be able to get over the hump this time around as well, too. But Kemba Walker, once again, exceptional performance, 33 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. And I think that he's a 50-50 tonight to go against the Nets. They're over here doing the injury management with him, which is very smart. So we'll see how it goes tonight. But there it is with the player of the night. And in other news and somber news, sad news, Terrence Clarke passed away on Sunday. I think it was either Tuesday. I don't know, but the young man passed away with his mother by his side after a terrible car accident in the Los Angeles area, and he had just signed to Clutch Sports, the LeBron and Paul-led agency that is in place. And pretty much that this guy skies was the limit for this kid, a 19-year-old kid who was from Boston, and he trained a lot with Tatum and Brown as well, too, and they were very high on him as well. There's also was a picture that they let out on the internet that showed him going crazy during a Boston game and things of that nature. He dreamed of playing for the Celtics as well, too. So, this is just sad all the way around. He played for Kentucky, who didn't have one of the better seasons, so that's why we didn't get to know him as well as we should have. But if you were paying attention to the AAU scene, prep scene for the last 5-6 years, you knew exactly who Terrence Clarke was. Also, Brandon Boston Jr., who played for Sierra Canyon, was right behind him, and I think he was an offender bender as well, too. But he's okay, and he's a top 10 prospect. So pretty much, this is just, once again, sad all the way around, and we will have a moment of silence just real quick for Terrence Clarke. And once again, life lost way too soon, and rest in peace, T. Clarke. All right. So with that, you guys go ahead and check out HatClub.com, and you guys can go ahead and get yourself all dripped up for $50 or better. Get you a 10% discount in subscription. Once again, if it's better, we can get you a 10% count on the drip. All right, so we'll be back with the Premier Sports Betting Show.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another, and Nyquist. Also trained two-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune into Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
What's up, world? We are back with the Primetime Angles Live, and I hope everybody's feeling good, feeling great. This is the premier sports betting show, so pretty much let's go ahead and jump into the Blue Crew Daily. And in the Blue Crew Daily, the Dodgers dropped the game last night, losing the game 3-2, but we talked about it on the show. I even had the Padres as a plus 1.5 last night. Jeff mentioned that they would be a straight up dog bet winner. So we both were on the money about that one last night, but that's just because we know how baseball works. So tonight is the start of the series, in my opinion. You know, the winners of the next 2 out of 3 games will be pretty much the winner of the series, it looks like, but actually it'll be pretty even as well too. Let me remember it's 4 games. So pretty much let me get my math right. But we got Kershaw on the mound. Kershaw has been decent over here in the month of April after having a bad start to the season, which is okay because you know what? That was expected. They were in a tough game against the Rockies at opening day at Coors Field, a team that usually wins on opening day, then drops 9 in a row after. So, you know, it happens, okay? And then you have a San Diego team that came in and they absolutely got blasted in their last 3 games by the Brewers. Nobody expected that either. So pretty much they came in there with a focus to beat the Dodgers last night, and they sent out one of their younger pitchers that the Dodgers don't have a familiarity with, but they'll get to know him very soon. So pretty much it was a good win for the Padres last night, but tonight the Dodgers know that this is the game right here that they want to put the stop to because they haven't looked good in their last few, you know what I mean? They have dropped their last 3 out of 4 games. And so, you know, the Dodgers trying to bounce back from that as well too, but they got off to such a great start. So we'll see how it goes, but Dodgers are fully loaded tonight. No Bellinger for a month or 2, but they still do have Mookie will be available. You know, Mookie had the issue with the elbow and everything like that, but no bruises, no breaks, no anything like that. He's good to go. So pretty much that's good news in itself. I think the Dodgers should be good money for you tonight, though. I think they take care of their business. And Kershaw, you know how he gets against the Padres. Y'all already know. He's dominated this team for the last, decade plus. So I think that continues tonight. So let's see how it goes, see how it shakes out, and let's see if the Dodgers go get a win up at the Ravine. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the MLB games today. And we got the A's and the O's going at it. Man, it sounds like a gang. It sounds like a gang fight's about to happen. The A's and the O's. All right, so in that game, we have 2 teams that pretty much are, you know, kind of going in different directions. You have a team in the A's who have not lost in a very long time. The A's start the season off 0-6 and have won their last 12 out of 13 games. That's absolutely incredible right there for a team that pretty much looked very out of wits. But I told you that this was going to be a good team. I told you guys that. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's what I'm running with is that, you know, the A's should be one of the better teams in the American League, and they're going against the Orioles. You know, the Orioles had started off with 3 wins to start the season, sweeping the Red Sox, but since then they've been 5-10. So pretty much now reality is setting in for this Orioles team. So when I look at this one, it's more of a game that you tell yourself that, you know, you have a good team in the A's here, but you don't want to be too overzealous in this spot as well, too, because they're good, but this is baseball again, and that's why they're minus 130 tonight. So I would say skip out on the spread on this game and just pick you a straight up winner here. And I think that the A's will win this game tonight. So we'll see how it shakes out. We'll see how it goes. We move forward to our next spot. Our next game is going to be the Mets and the Nationals, and the Mets and the Nats. So pretty much this is another good game right here, and we have some good pitching going on here. We got Eric Fetty, who's going to be taking the mound for the Nats, and then you got the man himself, Jacob deGrom, 0.45 ERA, 35 strikeouts, over 3 bases on balls, and we're not even done with the month of April yet. This guy is already looking like he can win another Cy Young this year. But you know what? At the end of the day, the Mets need to learn how to win games for this guy. If Jacob deGrom was a Yankee right now, he would be considered the greatest pitcher that ever pitched in baseball because he would have run support. But in this scenario with the Mets, he's just doing the same thing that a lot of great Mets pitchers did over years, just pitching for a mediocre team. So the Mets have to put something together. They did get Frankie Lindor this year. I just want them to be better because they got absolutely hosed against the Cubs this week. 14-4 losses and things of that nature. You don't want to really, start a trend with that. So when I look at this, you got a Mets team that's lost their last 4 out of 5. You got a Nationals team that won their last 3 out of 5, including 2 in a row. So when you look at this game, you tell yourself that, you know what? The Mets should be really good today because they got their best pitcher on the mound. And you know what? Don't overspend on the money line. You have to play the spread here, okay? If you're going to play a money line play, you better be dogging it today. And you know what? If you like dogs against deGrom, you're not by yourself, because when you look at deGrom's record, it should be much better than what it really is. And at the end of the day, it's because he doesn't get enough run support. So it is what it is. We move forward to our next game. All right, our next game is going to be between two division rivals, between the Royals and the Tigers. And you know what? These are two bottom basement play teams as well, too, that everybody pretty much is, figuring that where they will be at. So when I look at this, I say to myself that, you know what? This is a toss-up game. And pretty much you need to scoreboard watch here. When I look at both teams in their last 5 games, you got a Royals team that's 10-7 right now, surprisingly. So Mike Abadir is on to something, because he was the guy who he told me about the Royals 4 times in 4 different baseball talks that we had. So pretty much he's on to something right now. But they got Mike Minor on the mound tonight going against Casey Mize, and I think that this will be a hitting fest because both these guys are known to give up some runs and things of that nature. And when you look at the over-under 8.5, that easily can be hit. So, I really don't know where to go with the winner here, but I think I do know where to go with the scoreboard here, and I do like the over in this spot. So we'll see how it shakes out, see how it goes. Royals at the Tigers, and let's hope for a good game here. All right, we move on to our next spot. And in our next spot is going to be the Blue Jays at the Rays. And then you got the Blue Jays coming in here as a slight doggy dog, not a big dog, but a dog at, plus 135. I know this will get bet down as they move along. The Rays have been weird to me. I don't know what to put on this team. Last year, I had my mind made up. I knew that they were a stellar squad, but today they have themselves a really good pitching duel going on. They got Steven Matz, who's been pitching lights out for the Blue Jays, and then you got Tyler Glasnow, who's been pitching lights out for the Rays. 36 strikeouts, over 7 walks. And, he's probably still thinking about last year's postseason. So, he's very serious about what he got going on. And, the Rays have won their last 4 out of 5 games, while the Jays have dropped their last 3 out of 5. Now, I feel like there will be an over bet on the Rays here, but I don't say that the Blue Jays are a de facto big dog for you today, but I think they could be a good spread bet for you today. So there it is, Jays at the Rays. Let's see how it shakes out. Divisional game as well, too. So, the stakes are just a little bit higher. All right, we move forward And let's go ahead and jump into our next spot, and it's going to be the Pirates at the Twins. This is our interleague game today, and the Pirates come into this game winners of their last 3 out of 4, and the Twins have been absolutely dreadful here. They missed a few days because of a COVID scare, but their last 7 out of dropped their last 9 out of 10 games. They're playing bad baseball right now, to be honest with you, after a 5-2 start to the season. So they have to pick it up, they have to get it together. But I think this could be the spot where they can go ahead and do that today. But we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. But I really do think what happens here is you have a team that's not scoring a lot of runs in the Twins, and then the Pirates, you shouldn't expect them to just go out there and drop 10 runs in the game or anything of that nature. So pretty much I feel like this could be an under game for you as well too. I would suggest to add the hook to this bad boy because I think everybody's going to want to play the over here. So you look at the 8 and you get excited, but this is where they trap you at, and I think that you got to go the other way and take the under today. So we move on to our final game, and our final game is going to be a fun one. It's going to be the Reds at the Cardinals, and pretty much this one should be a pretty good game between the two red gangs in a sense. You know what I mean? I always like to laugh about that because both these teams are they look so alike. You know what I mean? One has a bird on their cap and the other one has a seal on their cap. So there's not much difference between the two. But the thing is, you love it in Sonny Gray's on the mound going against Cal Hung Kim. So pretty much this should be a pretty good day for the Reds because Kim was absolutely obliterated in his last start. He didn't even get past 3 innings in that, and right now has an ERA at 9. So the way that the Reds are hitting the baseball right now, 3rd in the league when it comes to batting average, 3rd in the league on base percentage, 1st in the league when it comes to runs, and that's thanks to the beating up on the Pirates the way that they did over a 3-day base, and then they're number 1 in slugging as well too. So when you look at all these stats, you tell yourself they should be able to dominate today against this weak link on the Cardinal staff. So we'll see how it shakes out, see how it goes, but that's going to be our game in St. Louis tonight, Reds at the Cardinals. And real quick notes, you got a Cardinals team that's dropped their last 3 out of 5. And then, you know what, and things aren't looking great for the Reds, but they were playing much better baseball before their 4-game losing skid that they just are going through this week. You have to understand baseball is a week-by-week, month-by-month sport. It's not something that you can be like, in September they should be in the playoffs, because there's teams that are really good right now that are going to be really bad when we get to September. So just get yourself prepared for that portion right there. So with that, that's going to be a wrap on our baseball games for tonight, and I'll have the ticket for you guys in a moment when we get to talking tickets. But you guys go ahead and check out Paramount Plus. You guys can go ahead and stream sports on Paramount Plus, that CBS and TNT show. Also, you guys can go ahead and watch great series that they have available there from CBS and Nickelodeon and MTV. So, man, it's just a kid from the 90s dream. Paramount Plus. Use the promo code VSX, and you guys will reap the benefits from it. It is in our show description, so you guys go ahead and check it on out. All right. So with that, we will be back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live.
The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
All right, we are back with the Primetime Angles, the premier sports betting show. And let's go ahead and jump into the NBA Friday night. And oh boy, it's always a fun night in the NBA on a Friday. So first game up, we got a divisional game between the Heat and the Hawks. The game will be played in Atlanta tonight. The Hawks coming in as a dog because their best player, Trae Young, is out tonight with a swollen ankle, so he should be back sometime next week. But that means absolutely nothing when you're chasing the Southeast Championship. So, Atlanta does have players that are capable of helping them win the game tonight. So that's why I really do feel like this might be one of the better games of the weekend in the NBA, to be honest with you. So you have a Heat team that's 7-4 in the month of April, and then they're 2-3 on the road. Now, the Hawks have been absolutely dominant in the month of April, and they are 9-3 at this point, and they're 5-2 at home. So when I look at these numbers, I'd say to myself that the Hawks have one in them to where they can surprise all of us. And I think that a lot of people are going to overbet the Heat tonight because they always think that one person is going to be the difference in a win or a loss. I feel like the way that the Hawks are getting coached up right now, they can win games without Trae Young, and that actually opens up more opportunities for other players that might not get that opportunity when Trae Young is there, because he's a really good player, but he is ball dominant. And I think since they pretty much have made him more of a point guard by bringing in Nate McMillan, everybody else has now grown some confidence. So pretty much I think this will work out tonight for the Heat. I am taking them as my dog of the day. All right, so there it is with that. We move forward. We got the Celtics at the Nets in this is pretty much a monster matchup tonight. And can we all just give much props to the Atlantic Division this year? The only bad team in the Atlantic Division is the team that won the championship in 2019, the Toronto Raptors. That's absolutely crazy to me because the Raptors have been the most consistent team over the last 10 years. I think everybody has spent time in the lottery in that group except for the Raptors. So pretty much the Raptors, it's all bad for them, though. They're playing down in Tampa. They're not even at home right now. So you got a Celtics team coming in here 9-2 in the month of April, 3-0 on the road. That is a very good stat right there as well, too. And they're going to get some Nets who've struggled because, KD's in and out the lineup nightly, and you're not going to get Harden back until May. So they're 6-5 in the month of April, but they're playing better at home. They're 4-1 at home. So pretty much when you look at this spot right here, you tell yourself that you have to scoreboard watch here because you don't know how this game is going to go. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a heavy officiated game. There should be a lot of free throws tonight. So that's why I'm thinking the over could be a play here. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. We'll move forward from there. We got the Wizards at the Thunder, and everybody talking about the Knicks, but the Wizards are also a team that's been winning a lot of games lately. They've actually won their last 8 out of 9, and they're actually 8-4 this month as well, too. So, the Wizards are coming in here very confident. They've got themselves some big wins, and it seems like the Western Conference is just so easy for them, but they can't get past these Eastern Conference teams. So, they come in here 8-4 in April, 4-3 on the road, going against a Thunder team that's absolutely dreadful right now. And they're still not going to get the number 1 pick in the draft because it's a lottery. You know what they're going to do to the Thunder? They're going to pick in the 4th or 5th slot. They're not going to let the first pick in the draft go to OKC. But it would be okay because the guy that they do have paid to go number 1 did play for OK State. But all in all, though, they need him right now. They're 0-12 in the month of April, 0-5 at home. But do not think that this is going to be a walk in the park for the Wizards at all. This is the type of game, if you overlook it, you'll get beat. This is the NBA. This is professional ball players. And when you're on a 12-game losing streak, you're starting to get desperate and you're starting to get angry. And you know what? You don't care about who you playing. You're going to show up because, you want to be in the NBA next year, right? All right, so we move on. We got the Nuggets at the Warriors. Nuggets coming into this game 38-20. They are now 3.5 games ahead of the Lakers in the 4th spot. Then you got the Warriors who are chasing the AC right now in the playoffs. And so pretty much this is a pretty good game because it seems like the Warriors have the Nuggets number. So I'm going to say this. I think the Nuggets could be in this game, but I think the Nuggets are going to start regressing just a little bit without Jamal Murray. I know Jokic is still there, and he's a walking triple-double at 7 feet tall, but still, Jamal Murray is the one that makes this team go. So at the end of the day, it's going to be tough for these guys to win games consistently without Jamal Murray, in my opinion, unless they get a big step up from MPJ, Michael Porter Jr. So we'll see how it goes, but all in all, though, you have a Nuggets team 9-2 in the month of April, 3-1 on the road. You have a Warriors team that's 500, 6-6 split, but they are playing much better at home because they've played majority of these games on the road. All right, so they're 3-1 at the home as well, too. Now, let's go ahead and get to our nightcapper. It's going to be the Grizzlies at the Blazers, and the Grizzlies coming in here 29-28. The Blazers are 32-36. The Grizzlies are 7-5 in the month of April, 5-3 on the road right now. I think Lillard's going to be scratched tonight. He has a little bit of a nagging injury, and when you look at it, the Blazers can go without him tonight, but this is the type of spot where the Grizzlies can show up and be really good at. But I think that the Blazers know what time it is, and they're trying to, stay afloat, stay in that 6th spot. And, you really don't want to be one of those teams that wind up being the 7th or 8th seed right now because you can wind up getting popped at the end of the year, and you don't want that to happen. So pretty much the Blazers 7-5, 2-2 at home right now during the month of April, and they looking to go ahead and get themselves a nice win. The 3.5-point spread is something to me that looks a little bit like a trap, but then it looks a little bit like something that could work out for us tonight and get us a big win for the Blazers because it seems like the Grizzlies been on have been in the struggle when it comes down to this road trip that they've been on the West Coast. So that's going to be our teams for the night. That's going to be a wrap on our Friday preview. So with that, you guys go ahead and check out Fubo TV. You guys get 7 days free, and then you guys can also go ahead and sign up for $55 a month, and you guys will not be held to a credit check. Now, if you do part ways with Fubo TV, you will not receive a final bill because you're paying it month by month anyway. But it is a great sports package. You guys will get all these channels that you crave for, and it will be all right here for you on display. So you guys go ahead and check them out, Fubo TV. It will be fun for the summer, so I would check it out if I was you. So with that, we'll be right back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash, and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we are in the stretch drive of the show right now, and if you don't know what show this is the Primetime Angles Live, the premier sports betting show. So pretty much here we are. We have the Talkin Tickets, boy. It's Friday. Let's see if we can make some money for the weekend. All right, so here we are, 42 to 1 with the NBA Super High Five. We got the Hawks at plus 180, and then we got the over 230 with the Celtics and the Nets. And then we have the under 228.5 tonight with the Wizards and the Thunder. I'm going to go plus 120 on the Warriors tonight as well, too. And then I'll end it off with the Blazers with the minus 3.5 tonight. And that's going to give us a 42 to 1 ticket on the NBA Super High Five. So if you go ahead and put 10 on it, you're going to get back 420, but don't smoke it. So pretty much we move forward. Let's go ahead and get into the MLB Primetime Pick Six. We got the A's tonight. Just kick it off for us at minus 130. Then we're going to do the over 8 with the Royals and the Tigers tonight. And then we got the plus 1.5 with the Jays tonight. I think that they're going to show up and kind of shock the system a little bit. If they don't win, they'll keep the game close. Then we got the Mets, who look like they're ready to go ahead and rip off any team's head right now after that bad series against the Cubs. So you know what? When you come out of a bad series and then you get to play at home, you usually play pretty good. So that's when I'm going to go ahead and jump all over the Mets, who are supposed to be a good team this year. All right, so we jump on the under 8 with the Pirates and the Twins in our only interleague game, which will be one of the under-the-radar games. Usually when you get an under-the-radar game, we wind up getting the under. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and take the under 8, Pirates, Twins. Let's see how it shakes out. And then we have the Reds money line minus 110. We get a 50-50 split that thing. You know what? The game is in the air, but I'm going to go with the better hitting team here. So Reds minus 110. Let's see how it shakes out. And we have ourselves a 33 to 1 ticket, the MLB Primetime Pick 6, which means that it's pretty favorable, because the higher the odds, that means that, you know, I've been adding some things to it that will make it really look real good. But with this one right here, 33 to 1 on a 6-teamer, this should win. So let's see if we can win tonight. So let's go ahead and get to it, man. So you guys already know where to go to, YouWager, and you guys know that's where the world bet's at. So you guys can use my promo code VSXPOP, and you guys will receive up to 50% on a match deposit. So if you guys put up 500, they'll match you with the 250, and you can start your sports betting journey from there. All right, so that's going to be a wrap on the Premier Sports Betting Show. You guys make sure to catch Horsing Around, presented by Stable Duel, tomorrow and Sunday over at Santa Anita. We already had our show for today and everything like that, but you guys already know. Check check that show out as well too. Tomorrow morning, I'll be back on the IG on DBIC _ doing talking tickets for you guys only. You know what I mean? Just exclusive, making sure that you guys are good for the weekend and everything. And we continue our little fun on IG as well too. So once again, I thank you guys very much for tuning in this week. We'll be back on Monday at noon Pacific time. So if you love tuning in, make sure you tune in at that time, okay? And as I always say, bet with your head, not with your heart. The movement is moving, and this is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles Live, and I am your host, the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, and I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.